In 2019, I was living in Motueka, New Zealand, and found myself working as a beekeeper during the harvesting and requeening season from January to March. I was working throughout the Tasman district, which covers over 9,000 square kilometers. There were over 40 different locations of hives that my team and I would work on. It was some of the most breathtaking terrain I've ever seen. Not only was the element of adventure in the job something I will never forget, but also coming to understand the rhythms and exquisite life form of the honeybee. This experience was transformative. I developed a newfound respect for the honeybee and their intricacies. I also developed a great admiration for the life of a beekeeper. It is taxing work that often goes unrecognized. In my experience, they had great respect for the honeybee, but are in a business that is more concerned about profit than the dignity of the bee. The Earth is experiencing dramatic species loss. The survival of our Earth's ecosystems partially depends on the preservation and survival of honeybees. Current conventional apiary practices reduce the notion of the bee life form as a purely economic opportunity. The picturesque view of the happy little honeybee flying around their hive and pollinating the Earth's flowers is one that has been romanticized. The honey industry is worth billions of dollars, as the Western honeybee is an important pollinator of monocrops. Although the size of orchards and fields have increased in size, wild pollinators are decreasing. The dramatic decrease in Apis mellifera has also been a result of pesticides, drought, habitat destruction, nutrition deficit, air pollution, and global warming. Honeybees are more than just a box of insects. This perspective may change the way one might manage a hive. It is time for us to reimagine. Since August of 2021, I've been working on a directed study that develops an expansive and inclusive story of more than human beings, and where participants of the garden become present in an animated world. To facilitate such an interaction, this project has worked to rewild Apis mellifera in the UBC Orchard Garden. This directed study acknowledges that there is not a single way for humanity to move forward. However, it does rely on the notion that bold experimentation and imagination is necessary. In order to put my directed study into practice, I ran a workshop with the Orchard Garden on March 12, 2022. One of the main objectives of the workshop was to put into perspective the current state of education and the move from pedagogy to wild pedagogy, where we attempt to become authentic participants in this world. I also introduced the Western honeybee as a superorganism that deserves to be treated with dignity. I highlighted Apis arborea's vertical log hive design, as well as a multi-bloom cycle that may help to shift our perspective and allow us to reimagine the life of the honeybee. Participants broke out into groups, were based off 10 pollinator plants, and suggested design interventions such as the vertical log hive. They developed a garden proposal of their own.
then we have red clover, and then these are our walkways, and what surrounds our walkways is lavender, and one of the intentions for that was the nice scent. So as you enter the bee area, it smells really inviting and lovely. And then
gooseberry bushes back here, they got full sun to shade, so in the morning it'll shine a lot on gooseberries, and then more in the evening there will be shade from the house on the gooseberry bushes there.
So this is kind of general ideas. We have 3 blueberry bushes, so those are like for bees. You know, they'll shake their bums for the blueberries.
Philosophy is that we are creating an ecological, sustainable, and friendly, not only human but also all the species friendly garden. So here we have the entrance, and we are looking at the different shade and the direction of sunlight and wind. So here the sun goes this way and the wind blows in this way. So it's kind of define the philosophy of how we designed this. So
I'm just going to talk a little bit about mason bees. It's one of the major pollinators here in the Pacific Northwest. And today we're just going to kind of like workshop make some bee nests for them.
nothing is written in stone. There's another one. There was always a design with you. Nothing is written in stone because you have more ideas.
Yeah. How was that? Actually, it's happening in my shop right now.
Now how many do we have? Are you sure?
We then segued into the orchard garden where we harvested veggies for a community meal. This allowed us to connect with the land, develop further appreciation for urban agriculture, and understand the role of pollinators. There is no one best possible way to move forward. However, this is not a despairing fact, but rather an opportunity to explore different forms of re-engaging with the land. By deepening the respect for the honeybee, it is our hope that we can begin to integrate wild pedagogies in a way that reorients both teachers and learners alike to the complexity and animation that exists in the world. By giving a new level of dignity to a species that sustains life on Earth, hopefully it will open the door to the wilder components of pedagogy and allow for a new set of questions to arise for the orchard garden community. This workshop demonstrated to me that we must fully engage with the more than human beings, each other, and most importantly, ourselves.